What's good with it, YouTube? We are back again with another video. Had to get a new mic, but we're back. I hope it's, you know, clear. I hope you can understand me, and I hope it doesn't cause me no problems. But again, we are back again with another video. Today I will really want to talk about, how we are saved by grace through faith. So for the past 2 weeks for me have been a little rocky. It really started last week where it felt like whatever I was doing, in my spiritual walk, it just felt like my flesh was telling me that's not enough. That's not enough. You got to do that. That's not enough. You're not going to make it into heaven if you do that. And it really like took a toll on me because I want to be with my father in heaven. And it was like, oh my goodness, like I felt like I was under this control of just like, oh my goodness, I have to do this, and this. And that's never how my walk with Christ was. It was like pure, genuine prayer, pure, genuine reading time and studying time. And it really bugged me in a way. Not even bugged me. I was sad for last week and part of this week. And it just wouldn't get off of me. Like, and I think that's a part where it says like your flesh can really, really have a hold on you because I wasn't hearing it from the Lord, but my flesh was so loud that that's all I was hearing. And I was like I was praying it away. And it was like my flesh was just screaming, like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. And and I was upset. I was, tripping. Like every time I would read, I would, I would truly read, I would get through it, and then I would pray, and then I would get up and I would be like, well, did I pray and read this amount of time? Because if I didn't, the Lord won't be happy. Never happened in my walk with Christ before. I don't know where that came from. So I'm like, all right, like I felt bad. So I went in this deep prayer, and then I was good. And then a couple of days later it came back. And this is how just great and sovereign God is God is when he sees like you ain't locked in and you ain't listening, he will send your people, to you, like the community that you have or other people. So my peoples, they talk to me, they were just like, Cam, like, you say it also, like, we're saved by grace through faith, that. So you need to start acting like it. And truly I was like, dang, y'all right. Like it literally says, you know, faith without works is dead, but also works without the faith is just honestly, works without the faith is just like pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's boastful in a way, it's prideful. Because what you're saying is my works without the faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my works can get me into heaven. What I do can get me eternity with the Father. What I do can save my sins and, get me to the promised land. And that's how I was thinking at an extent. And not knowing how pride crept in and it was in my flesh and it was saying I wasn't doing enough to be like, you have to do this certain amount to make it into heaven. And I think it was that, but I also think sometimes we could, ingest a lot of Christian content where we see like, oh, this person said they woke up at 4 o'clock and had a 5 hour prayer session. And this person said they read their Bible from sun up to sundown, didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? And I think, talking to my peoples, that could also be a situation of like, I think people believe that they have to have a certain time limit or certain things. No, it's different for everybody. There's some people who can pray 6 hours. Could you get to that point? Of course. But if you've never done that before and you aren't seeking God to try and do that to the 6 hour extent, it's like you're going to feel like you failed when in reality, your 15-minute prayer could, I'm not gonna say could have been more powerful than a 6 hour prayer, but like you could have done the same. Like the Lord looks at you the same. He doesn't look at you to be like, okay, you did 6 hours, you did 15, you're better than that person. It's like whose heart was genuine. If both of your hearts are genuine, God, he looks at us as his children. So it's like that crept up in me, and it was hard to deal with that because it was the first time this has ever happened, and I felt like the Lord doesn't love me because I didn't read that extra page, or I didn't spend that extra 5 minutes to get it to 30 minutes of prayer or 45 minutes of prayer. You know what I'm saying? And it was hurting. It was hurting. And I'm just glad that the Lord is just so gracious. He's just so loving and so merciful, because he could have just let me deal with that and just was like, okay, he not even listening. All right. But he sent people to come to me just to remind me, like, Cam, lock in. You like, you know the scripts, you know your word. Why are you acting like you don't? And that's something that I talk about all the time. And it happened to me, and I was like, whoa. um, that was interesting. But we, if you ever feel discouraged about your walk, just remember, like, the Lord saved you from a place where you didn't even pray before, or you didn't even know the power of prayer, or you never read your word, or you never even looked at the Bible, or you did, but you never truly tried to understand what the word means. Now you're doing study sessions and breaking down word by word, line by line. What does this word mean in Greek, and this word mean? And like, you know what I'm saying? Never look at it as, oh, well, I have to do this certain amount of time, unless it's like a time just devoted to prayer or a time devoted to reading. Like, you're going to say from 2 to 3 every day, I'm going to have time devoted to reading or time devoted to prayer. That's different. I think in a sense of like, you're just reading, and then your reading might be an hour this day, might be 30 minutes this day, it might be 15 minutes this day, and you feel like, oh, the Lord hates me, or the Lord doesn't like me anymore because my time is dwindling. When in reality, you could get more out of that 15 seconds than an hour. I mean, 15 minutes than an hour. I'm not saying that that's you know what I'm saying? But like, there's some times where you could get more out of the lesser time or more out of the more time. It's just depending on what your heart is saying. And I'm talking to myself. So like, this whole video is just to myself right now. I'm not gonna lie. Most of them are, but this one is like just to me. Um, and I'm just yapping because I got this new mic, and I really hope that it sounds good. But yeah, that was something I was dealing with these past 2 weeks. But the Lord has definitely gotten me through it, allowed me to, see his love, see his graciousness. And yeah, just to be on the right side, I'm saved by grace through faith, and Jesus Christ is working within me so that the works can produce and the fruits can produce with the fruits of the labor. So always remember that you are saved by grace through faith and not just works. So you let the Lord work through you, like I said, through that saved by grace through faith, and then the works come. So you have to have both. You cannot just have one or the other. But I do hope y'all, I hope y'all like the video. I pray y'all have a great weekend. And I'll catch y'all next time. We out.